Asakusa personally is one of my favorite neighborhoods because it's a very beautiful area. It's really nice, one of the nicest in Tokyo, and very peaceful. And you basically have all the options for Japanese cuisine in this neighborhood. I mean, here you have ramen, sushi, takoyaki, you have all kinds of food. All Japanese food is here. You have izakayas, bars, you have everything. Now, the only bad thing about this neighborhood is that maybe what it's missing is a little better connection. I mean, there's a train line that probably no one is going to take. There's another one that only goes as far as Akihabara, that's it. And then there's the Asakusa line, which isn't really used much. But it has the Ginza line, and the Ginza line is a good line because it goes to Shibuya, Ginza, and Akihabara. Well, but you could say it's a bit lacking in connections. It's a really good neighborhood. There are a lot of hotels behind the area in a quieter zone. There are many Airbnbs, cheap hotels, but it's definitely a neighborhood I highly recommend for staying. It's really nice, you can't go wrong, especially, for example, if you're coming with older people or with kids. Maybe at night the neighborhood does quiet down a lot, but it also has its own charm at night. You have to visit Sensoji, the main temple. At night it's really beautiful, the way they light it up, and it's just really, really nice. Having few people around is already a surprise for Venga, but at night the view takes on a unique and beautiful charm. And you'll never run out of places to eat. There are always places to eat. It's not like Shibuya. That's for sure. Akihabara is a good neighborhood. It's cool. Plus there are lots of good, nice, cheap, tasty, and cheap food options. There are places to stay, but the problem is that if you're not an otaku, it doesn't make sense to stay in Akihabara, especially for older people. Maybe. Around 8 p.m. stores start closing, and by 9 it's empty. Once I passed by on a Sunday at 9 p.m., it was like another world. Akihabara is best for those into otaku culture, collectors, or anime fans. Otherwise, I'd suggest skipping it. Transportation is good since two major Japan Railways lines pass through, the Sobu line to Shinjuku and the Yamanote line. The Yamanote line is well known as the circular route passing Tokyo's most famous areas. Ueno is a neighborhood I really like because you can buy everything there. There's the street with the market, where there are a lot of cheap options to eat, and then there are the streets with izakayas where you can go drink and eat at night. Then there's the street that's full of clothing stores. For example, in the clothing area, there are a lot of people who see this and say, this is all counterfeit, right? No, sir. They don't sell counterfeit brand name clothes here. What they do sell is over there. Things that are extremely obvious, like, for example, there are stores that sell Romex watches, or over here. On this side, there's a store that's all clothing that doesn't have licenses, right? They use images of things, but that's fine. They're not selling brands. They're stealing licenses, and they're foreigners, yet don't seem to get penalized. Or like shoes. Here, everything is original, even though it all looks like it's from a street market. But no, the truth is that maybe they just don't have all the shoe sizes. Maybe they're leftover models, out of fashion. I really like this clothing store. I've bought clothes here too. In fact, this store called Magazines has a lot of clothes like that. Really Japanese style designs, like this shirt I'm wearing now, which has little cats on it. And besides the train connections, well, it's super well connected. The Yamanote line runs through here, which goes all around Tokyo, and there are two subway lines as well. And also something really important. A convenient detail is that there's a direct train to the airport. The Skyliner passes through here, and it takes 50 minutes to get from the airport, from Narita to this neighborhood. Knowing you're in this neighborhood and staying nearby is very convenient. For food, there's a wide variety. Izakaya spots and the usual chains I always recommend. There's a hard off and hobby off. Prices aren't the best, but they're still worth checking out. And anyway, from here to Akihabara, it's a 15-minute walk, literally. In 15 minutes, you can get to Akihabara. And cheap suitcases. In this neighborhood, there are lots of cheap suitcases everywhere. It's the neighborhood with the most suitcases. There are sports stores that sell all the jerseys of the soccer teams in Japan. Obviously, all official jerseys. Well, swimwear, sportswear, sports clothes are sold a lot around here. There's also a very nice little temple here. This store is like a supermarket, but only sells non-perishable products, nothing fresh, making it ideal for taking food back to your country. Instant foods, instant ramen, curry bars, all those things. And the market atmosphere is really nice. That's great. There are Korean food spots like the one we just visited, plus takoyaki stands on that side and kaisendon, which are rice bowls with raw fish here. The neighborhood is great. I like it because it offers a bit of everything. And honestly, if I had to stay in a neighborhood, if possible, I think I would choose this one, although it really depends on each person's preferences. That's why we're going to keep exploring other neighborhoods and the Shinjuku neighborhood. This is one of my favorite neighborhoods and one of the ones I can recommend the most for staying because it's the neighborhood with the most nightlife activity in all of Tokyo. Basically, well, along with Shibuya. However, I don't recommend this neighborhood as much for families. It's not the most family-friendly neighborhood in the world. It's good for groups of friends or even couples. It's really good since, well, what there is to do most in this area is go partying. It also has its shopping areas. As soon as you leave Shinjuku Station, there's the giant cat screen, and there are all kinds of stores, clothing stores, everything. I mean, here they have everything, everything. What's really important is that both in Shinjuku and in other neighborhoods, you should try to find accommodation close to the train station. But in the case of Shinjuku, if possible, try to stay on the east side of Shinjuku Station. Because on the other side, well, that's where the city hall is. At night, they have a great light show every night, but besides that, it's mostly just luxury hotels with little else to see. Personally, I always enjoy going out at night for a drink with friends or a partner. This neighborhood has plenty of such spots, as I've mentioned before. Be cautious about accepting services from people on the street. If someone approaches and asks if you need something, just say no. You should go into the places on your own. It's going to be safer, places that are open to the street, and it'll be easier. There are plenty of places to eat here. They're everywhere. The thing is, during the day, it's not that active, but you know, during the day, you just go around. I always mention places that I recommend. It's mainly for being here at night, to find something, have dinner, or stay near the hotel. But during the day, you explore the rest of the city. Obviously, now among the neighborhoods that are my favorites, in terms of tourism, these are basic neighborhoods that you absolutely have to visit. For example, there's Odaiba, the artificial island where the giant life-size Gundam robot stands. But I really don't recommend staying there at all. There are only 2 hotels, the Nikko and a Hilton, but I don't recommend it because it's a bit isolated. It's very nice, but by 8 o'clock everything is already completely closed. And it's a neighborhood where visiting for one day is more than enough. More than enough. The place isn't that big, and by the way, this neighborhood is full of yakiniku places, which you'll recognize as yakiniku. Ma'am? I've mentioned it before, it's grilled meat that you can cook at your table, and you have plates of raw meat there in big pictures and a small grill, not just meat on a griddle because there can be a big price difference. But yakiniku places are everywhere here in Shinjuku. If you like meat, here you can try the best Wagyu beef without having to go for Kobe beef, which will cost you a fortune. And this video is sponsored by CyberGhost, VPN. What is a VPN for? Well, first, to have internet security. You, for example, when you go to a mall and connect to an unknown Wi-Fi network, that's a moment when you're at risk of having your accounts hacked. Using a VPN prevents that since VPNs encrypt your data. Or, for example, to access Netflix content or any online platform and have content from other countries. It works for that too, since you can pretend to be in another country by connecting to a VPN in India, for example. And there you can subscribe to YouTube Premium, which is much cheaper, and you can watch YouTube without ads. You also get YouTube Music for unlimited music, offering nearly the same features as Spotify, similar to CyberGhost VPN. They gave us a discount link, so basically for 2 years you'll be paying $2 a month, and on top of that, you get 4 months free. You get a 45-day guarantee, so if you're not satisfied, you can cancel and get a refund. And super important, you can connect the VPN account to 7 devices. You can share it with friends, family, and split the costs. But cybersecurity is very important. I use it a lot, and I mostly use it to access content from other countries, so thank you very much, Ghost VPN. The Kabukicho Tower. Here in this tower, there are also a lot of really well-decorated little bars that are great, and there's also a place to play games. But another neighborhood I want to mention that I highly recommend for staying is the Ikebukuro neighborhood, which is also very well connected and has everything you need. There are accommodations, places to eat, and places to shop. I mean, it's like the Shibuya for people from the northern area of Japan above Tokyo, because for people from Saitama, it's the closest option. It's like experiencing Shibuya without actually going there, and it's really nice. They have everything. It's known as the Akihabara for girls, with many anime shops and attractions focused on girls. I highly recommend Ikebukuro. That said, Shinjuku is the dirtiest neighborhood in all of Tokyo, and maybe not all of Japan, but still it's a neighborhood with a lot of charm. I mean, here you have Omoide Yokocho, which is that little alley full of izakayas and bars with skewers, and there's Golden Guy where you find the tiny bars. So yeah, the most attractive, the nicest thing about Shinjuku is all the nightlife, not just the bars. Even if you don't drink, the neighborhood is nice with shopping and regular activities. Shinjuku Park, or Shinjuku Gyoen, is one of the largest and nicest parks in Tokyo. And speaking of parks, I remembered, for example, the Imperial Palace, which has the Imperial Garden right next to it. Here's a place I recommend, right? Also, check the video description for a Google Maps link to my recommended Tokyo spots. As for the Imperial Palace, I never recommend it. It's a place with nothing to do. The photos online, are they what you'll see? No, there's nothing. Similarly, I don't suggest staying near Tokyo Station, as it's mostly an administrative area with many offices. Yes, there is very good transportation, but there is absolutely nothing to do at Tokyo Station, and there aren't any places either. There are many places to eat, and well, obviously, Shinjuku has one of the busiest train stations in the world, so you won't be lacking for connections. What is a bit big, actually too big, is the station itself. You could get lost in there, and it's 5 minutes away from the Godzilla head. We have this avenue that's full of Appa hotels, which are hotels that are a bit small, but for the most part, they're fairly affordable. And on this side, well, there's also a big Don Quixote. The Don Quixote that's over there near the head is really small, even though it's famous. But on this side, we also have Koreatown just 5 minutes away on foot, which is actually already kind of part of Koreatown. But on this side, before reaching the main avenue of Koreatown, there's a very residential area that's full of Airbnbs. So for those who are guided, what do I do? A lot of people come looking for the Koreatown area or along the avenue. I watched the video. Gonzalez and But, and buyers, can you handle the years? Agresnya no mestos. So does this fall apart? Household items, tech, clothes, phone accessories, anything you want. So we're not expanding with Don Quixote anymore. Another neighborhood I don't recommend staying in, and honestly I almost say don't even visit, is the Roppongi neighborhood. Look, a lot of people who don't know Japan, who don't know Tokyo, say no because Roppongi is the party neighborhood. It's super modern, super fancy, everything. Well, yes, it's a neighborhood like that, really fancy, because it's an area for wealthy people. But what's the problem with Roppongi? I've been there several times and I never found the charm of that neighborhood, and all the people I know, everyone thinks the same. Nobody goes to Roppongi. It's like the atmosphere is very, I don't know, I'd even say it's for Americans. You see, it's an area where all the embassies of the world are nearby, and there are a lot of American residents around there. But the people who go there aren't the best kind of people. I could say, let's say, wealthy people. And the thing is, you're on the main avenue of Roppongi, you'll see a sign over the highway, and after that, you won't know where to go. I'm telling you, you can enjoy all of Tokyo's neighborhoods just by walking the streets. Because there, a bit of intuition helps you go into whatever store you want, to whatever place or club you want. But in Roppongi, if you don't know someone who really knows Roppongi well, there's no point in going into any place. Here we are. As soon as we leave Don Quixote, we're already in the Korean neighborhood area. It's nice here, but I want to go to Japan, not Korea. Well, but it's different too. It's a different atmosphere and it's really nice. It's really nice. A lot of stylish people, also fans of Korean culture. And also, it's Korean food that's very Japanese influenced. So it's not the same as what you'll find in Korea. But Roppongi only has Roppongi Hills, which is a really beautiful building. You can visit that, but not much more than that. But anyway, I'll say it again, in the description, there's a Google Maps link to all the places I recommend. And you'll see that neither the Imperial Palace nor the Roppongi area are marked. But anyway, if you have extra time, draw your own conclusions, go to Roppongi, but I'm telling you, you'll get there and you won't know what to do. Like many people, you won't know which bar to go into. And usually tourists end up going to bars where they play non-Japanese music and all the customers aren't Japanese. Because that's the information that reaches tourists. Well, normally we would show food, but we're not going to show empty plates. The thing is, well, we're in the Korean neighborhood, more or less. When you're booking hotels, take a look at the map. Location is very important. Make sure you're close to train stations, especially if they're Japan Railway stations now, for example, what would be junior stations, which I haven't mentioned. We're not going to go there today, but I'm mentioning it because those are places where you have a lot of options to eat. Let's say good places to stay are the neighborhoods of Shinbashi, Kanda, Nippori, Sugamo, Takadanobaba, and Shinokubo. Is it the Korean neighborhood or Ebisu? Afterwards, the other Japan Railway stations within the Yamanote line, the green one that goes in a circle. They're all fine, but it depends. Let's see. There are some where there's nothing around. Meguro, Shinagawa, Tamachi, or Takanawa Gateway, all that area south of Shinbashi doesn't suit you. Now Shibuya. Shibuya is one of the best neighborhoods to be in because it has everything. Shops, places to eat, there's a lot of activity, everything. But the problem is that in Shibuya, there aren't that many places to stay, and it's usually a bit more expensive. Because it's Shibuya. If you can afford to stay in Shibuya, do it. In Shibuya, there's the Harajuku neighborhood, which is right next to Shibuya, but there are almost no hotels there. You might find a good Airbnb, and if you do, great. That's all for now. See you next time. Greetings to your family, pet, and neighbor. Bye.